This is my son Seth's cowhide. Accidentally he left it in his cousin's car, and a month later she came back as this is what it looked like, unfortunately. And let's take a look at the stitching here. This is your 300 series with the Schofield notes in it and everything. It's a very nice Bible. This is what I got Seth last year, a year ago, a year and 4 months ago. I got him this, and of course, it's got the stitching and everything. It's kind of hard to do this one hand. I was going to do it with a flip camera, but you know, they're not really charged up, unfortunately. There we go. Come on. Come on. See, this is what Eric and I are talking about here, folks. This is what you don't want to happen right here. You don't want this to come loose, because if this right here comes away from the signatures, actually, if these papers themselves come away from the signatures, you got heck. Okay. Now, I mean, you can kind of deal with the card type coming away, but that was already loose there. I forgot about it. But you don't want the other pages coming loose. That's what Eric had with his Bible there. So anyway, we got like this thing going on, this fascination, I guess, with local church Bible publishers. Yeah, so be careful of that and watch out for that. Nobody's perfect there, as Eric said and as I've said. They're a ministry, they're not a business. They do these Bibles at cost. They don't do them to earn a profit. And so this is your, see, same thing there. See that? You gotta be careful. Now this is that 120 series. And I didn't know that was going on there. See how far the stitching is right here? It's so far up. Now, this is manufactured in March 2000 this year. Okay. Focus there, buddy. Come on, focus. There we go. So, I didn't realize that on this one. Look at there. You don't want that to happen, really. And what you really don't want to happen is, like I said with the other one, you don't want these signatures coming out. But you can probably deal with this a whole lot better than you could with these right here coming out. You know, and again, that's what happened to Eric's Bible. The 120 series, red letter. Of course, here's the Thompson chain reference of mine. Of course, they don't put these out anymore, unfortunately. Now, you can see right here, the stitch comes down a little bit further, but it does the same thing. That's where I accidentally tore it right there one time. See right there? Now, if you get one what Eric showed earlier with a see right there? But if you get one that has a stitching all the way up in here, that's better. And that's, of course, the 365 series, Thompson chain reference, covered with the calfskin, I believe. Yeah, this is the calfskin, I believe, and that other one was, this one right here was cowhide. Yep, cowhide right there. Yep, so that's a local church. Put this over here. Here are the two big ones. Here's the two Mac Daddies. Local church Bible publishers. This is, I believe, somebody sent me this over the internet. I mean, the guy I know on the internet. The 230 series right here. And basically what we did was swap out Bibles, trade Bibles. And he sent me this one. A fellow by the name of Brad. So, let's just check this out. Let's just see how it goes here. I mean, I don't want to jerk. See this right here? Even though the stitching, well, actually the stitching does come. See how far the stitching comes down right there? Yeah, the stitching goes pretty far. It comes up and loops over. Well, actually, I don't know, but it's showing here just a little bit. But see, it's not doing well. It's a little bit kind of coming away, but not like the other couple. As long as you got those signatures in there, you're good to go. And as again, it was a 230 series. And here's the 290 series. And that's another big one. That's cowhide right there. And let me see what this one was. I believe that's cowhide too. This one was my first one I got from local church Bible publishers. And really, 290 series. I've had a little bit more than these, but I've either given away or sold them or something like that, you know. Let's check this out. Yeah, see, that one's in there pretty good. You don't want to yank it though. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Yeah, well, see, it's a little just like the other one. Not too bad. We're not trying to find problems with the Bible, folks. We're just trying to show you that, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, and trying to find the darn stitch in here. So you can kind of tell a little bit here as to where the thread might have went through. But I'm trying to find the thread itself. It's kind of hard to do. Might be able to find it better in the back. So let's try that. See, that's glued in there with the signatures. They make high, nice quality Bibles. Local church does. And nobody's hurt. Here we go. There's the stitching right there. You can see the string there. Goes all the way up. Right about in there. And so you got about a little bit of a gap here and there. So where my thumb is and where my index finger is, my pointing finger, you got a bit of a gap. But as long as it's glued in there, fine, you're alright. Now when this, like I said before, now if the signatures are not glued in there, you got problems. The Thompson Chain Bibles, reference Bibles, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's generally the size comparison you got there, end to end pretty much. This is what you got here, the 230, 290, 365, the Thompson, you got the 300 and the 120. So you can tell pretty much the size of these Bibles. Now I want to show you something here with my Thompson Chain Reference Bibles. One of the first ones I got, this is the Centennial Edition. And first of all, which I'm not really too worried about this, you can see how the backing, the spine kind of bends a little bit. I'm not really worried about all that too much, but you see how they got a very similarity with the stitching here. But whenever I got it, that's how the stitching was. This was to me at the time unacceptable, but I got it from, you know, secondhand. Well, not secondhand, but from a guy I couldn't get a refund back from. So, you know, you see how it's kind of tearing away just a little bit there. But the thing that really got me the most is, see this right here? You can tell. But this is something right here that I don't really accept. See how that is right there? Come on, zoom in there. There you go. See how these signatures are pulled away from the spine? That's what you got to look out for. I mean, they're stitched in there, but they're not glued in there as well. And this is what I've been having since I got this thing. And see, it's the same way here. The backing of this thing right here doesn't, the craft or whatever it is, doesn't go all the way through. See that right there? See how loose it is? That's what you don't want, folks. You don't want this. See how loose it is? Yeah. So I believe it's the same way with this other one, this hand size. This is the same size as the Thompson chain reference Bible put out by local church right here. This is the same size. This is the what do you call it? The regular size. It's just got Tom local churches covering on it. So let's check this out. So it does a little bit of that. This one's a little bit better. You know, it's got the signatures in there a whole lot better. But see, you got that a little bit there, but really though, the signature is in there a whole lot better than the large print. So you really can't get that out of there. It's glued in there pretty good. Okay. Now, if we take, for example, let's take for example this World Bible Publishers, World Syndicate rather. Let's take a look at it. Let's just see how good things were back in the old days. This thing this is from 1930s. It's still in great shape. You can see right there, 1935. I think this is World Syndicate. Yeah, the World Syndicate, Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah. So let's check this out. Look at here. I mean, the binding is like butter. I mean, you can't get any better than that right there. Then that was made. What? 2005. I was made 80 years ago. This was put together 80 years ago, and it's got a perfect binding to it. Look how it just flops out. You know what I mean? And you don't have to worry about pages folding down like the other ones, because they're tight. They're in there tight. I don't know if they're in there by signature. Well, I think they are. They're in there by, yeah, they are in there by signatures. Look how good this binding is compared to the somewhat binding practices of modern day. And that's no way to make them look bad, but I mean, this Bible here by World Syndicate, it's bound way better than these modern type Bibles, and that's the way they all should be. But unfortunately, I gotta have lunch and Bibles. Help me! They're all falling. Help! I got a stack of Bibles I need to put back up. Thompson and local church and World Syndicate. Pretty heavy. It's hard to hold them with one hand. Oh, Mr. Butch told me such a wimp. You the man, you can do it, man. No, I don't. There you go. Oh, leather and paper and gold. Oh my. Whew. Look at there. Ton of Bibles.